Hi everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to talk about termination of the employment relationship. First of all, what is termination? Well, simply put, it's when you have a job and then you lose it. There are two types of termination. The first is voluntary termination. This includes retirement and resignation. The other form is involuntary termination, which includes dismissal and layoffs. Why is termination important? Well, for employees, it's important for two main reasons. First, employment is often a person's main source of income. Losing a job leads to great financial stress. Additionally, termination can also create great psychological stress. For society, it is important because it triggers unemployment insurance. This is an expensive Social Security program that is funded by taxpayers, which is why we want to limit termination. Finally, for companies, termination is important because it can be a way to eliminate costs. However, this often leads to troubles with workplace culture and morale. What are the different types of termination? Well, first, there's termination by the employee. This can come in the form of termination without cause or just simple resignation. It can also come in the form of termination with cause due to a factor like workplace harassment, for example. Next, there is termination by the employer. This can come in the form of termination without cause due to a fixed-term contract like an internship. This can also come in the form of termination with cause via subjective or redundancy termination. Subjective termination could be a breach of contract, including fraud, for example. Redundancy termination is termination for reasons not related to the individual employee. Examples include economic reasons, where the company is facing profitability concerns. Technological reasons, where the company has replaced employees with machines. Organizational reasons, where the company merges and wants to eliminate duplicate jobs. And demand-related reasons, where the company loses an important client or number of clients, for example. The next question is, how much does it all cost? When determining the cost of terminating an employee, there are two things to consider: seniority and salary. Specifically, you want to know how many years the person in question has been employed by the company and what their daily salary is. The magic formula is multiplier times daily salary times length of service in years. The key component is the multiplier, which is set by law and varies depending on the type of termination. For redundancy, the multiplier is 20. For unfair dismissal, the multiplier is 33. For fixed-term contracts, the multiplier is 12. Also, depending on the type of termination, the employee might also be entitled to a period of notice prior to their dismissal, which must also be factored into the termination cost. All this information can be summarized in the following diagram. Redundancy compensation example. Imagine if a person had 10 years seniority and was paid $36,500 salary annually. They would multiply 20, the multiplier, times the daily salary of 100 times the 10 years work to equal $20,000. They're also entitled to 15 days notice, which would give them $1,500 salary. So in total, their severance pay would be $21,500. Finally, we'll look at the difference between EU and US termination. The main thing is at-will employment. At-will employment is a term used in U.S. labor law for contractual relationships in which an employee can be dismissed by an employer for any reason and without warning, as long as the reason is not illegal. While this is not universally prevalent in the U.S., it's far more common than in the EU. Thank you, and that's all.